Let's take a look at a circle question here from Kranji Secondary. The equation of circle is x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 9 equals to 0. Part A, find the radius and coordinates of the center of the circle. Let's arrange this equation here. I'm going to write x squared followed by minus 6x plus y squared minus 10y plus 9 equals to 0. And I'm going to do 2 times of completing square. So one is the x version followed by the y version. I'm going to write this constant here. Now let's take a look at this few position. I'm going to take coefficient x, which is negative 6 divided by 2. That's negative 3. Squaring it, that's a 9. Negative 10 divided by 2, negative 5. Squaring it will be 25. Okay, now let's arrange the bracket together. And we're going to move the constant to the right. But you can see that 9 minus 9 is cancelled out. So we're left with 25 on the right hand side. Let's answer the question now. Radius. Do remember that 25 is r squared. So to find radius, we're going to put square root of 25. So the answer is going to be 5. And next, let's write down center of circle. Remember to switch the sign for this and this. So we have center of circle as 3, 5. That's part A of this question. Let's take a look at part B. Find the equation of the tangent to the circle at negative 1, 2. Now I know some students can't see without a picture. You can roughly just put the circle, center of circle in. So let's plot this dot here as C, 3, 5. And I'm going to tell you something over here. Be sensitive of this one here. Radius is 5. The height of the center is 5. So which means this circle is touching the x-axis. If you're going to draw a correct circle, it will look something like this one here. So you see that the height is 5 and the radius is 5. So what you will see is this one here. Now let's put the dot in where we have the tangent at the point of negative 1 and 2. So negative 1 and 2, let me just roughly put it in. So maybe this point here. So call it a P, negative 1, 2. So to find the tangent of circle, let me just draw the line first. So this point touching the circle, this is the tangent line. And tangent is a straight line. So to form the equation of line, we need gradient and a point. We already have a point here, which is this one. So we are pending for the gradient. And remember that if you connect this point to the center of circle, what you will get is this one is going to be a 90 degree. So we can get the gradient of the tangent line by finding the perpendicular gradient. So I'm going to write it here. I'm going to use point P and point C to find the perpendicular gradient first. Let's do a gradient formula. 5 minus 2 divided by 3 minus negative 1. So we have 3 over 4 here. Now let's write down the gradient for tangent. Change it to opposite sign, negative, and let's take a reciprocal. So it's going to be negative 4 over 3. Now we're going to form the equation of the line by using y minus y coordinate of this point here, which is 2, equals to gradient negative 4 over 3, and x minus x coordinate of this point here. So double negative, I'm going to change it to plus 1. Now this one here, let me multiply the 3 to the left hand side. And I'm going to keep this negative. And I'm going to multiply this negative 4 into the right. So let's do this. We have 3y minus 6 equals to negative 4x minus 4. Let me move x and y to the left. I'll have 4x plus 3y. Moving 6 to the right, I have 6 minus 4. That's equals to 2. So that's the answer for part B of this question. Let me erase this one here and let's take a look at part C then. Now let's take a look at part C of this question here. A straight line passes through the point J, 9, 10, intersects the circle at points K, 0, 1, and H. Now I want you to know very clearly that this line passes through J, K, H, and it intersects the circle at 2 points only, which is K and H. So which means J is not on the circle, so you're going to be a bit careful. So let me just put the K in since you know it's going to be on the circle. So it's going to be this point here, I'm going to label K. This is 0, 1. All right, so I'm going to also write down that the line, this line here is passing through point J, point K, and also point H. Okay, so to find another intersection point of the line and the circle, which is point H, we need to form the line equation. And to form a line equation, we need to know a point and gradient. So what happened is that I already have points, okay? I have 9, 10, I also have 0, 1. So what I do not have is the gradient of that line. So using any of the 2 points, since I know J and K, we're going to find the line, the gradient line by using point J and also K. Let me just write down here, J and K. And let's do the gradient formula. 10 minus 1 divided by 9 minus 0. So what we have here is 1. And do remember that the line also passes through K. So I'm going to write down the equation just by looking at this one. It will be the y-intercept. So the line will be y equals to x plus 1. Easy over here. And since we know that we're going to do an intersection to find point H, so I'm going to do this one intersect with the circle equation. You can use that version or the version in part A that we already found. Okay, so let me just write down again. So just now we have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals to 25. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. If you're going to do point of intersection to find point H, I'm going to sub 1 into 2. So we have x minus 3 squared plus x plus 1 minus 5 squared equals to 25. Let me just do this one inside first before I expand both brackets. Okay, next step. Let's expand this one. X squared minus 6x plus 9 plus x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals to 25. Now let's add the x squared together. We have 2x squared. Adding the x terms together, we have minus 14x. And then this is 25, this is 25, so we have 0, okay? Next step, you can divide by 2 if you want to. So I get this, and let's factorize x out. So I have x minus 7 equals to 0 and x. So we have this one here. So we have two answers, either x equals to 0 or x equals to 7, which is good because we know one of the points here is point K where the x value is 0 here. So the other point, this one must be point H. So to find y coordinate, let's put this back into number 1. So I have y equals to 7 plus 1 equals to 8. So I'm going to write down the H coordinate is 7, 8. Now let's just read part C again. We need to explain with working whether the point H lies above or below the center of circle. So lies above or below, meaning we're going to compare the height of the point. So we're going to compare these two numbers here and I'm going to explain properly down here. Okay, so we notice that y coordinate of H is bigger than the y coordinate of the center of circle. Okay, here, and which is 8 more than 5, therefore point H lies above the center of circle. Okay, that's all for this part C question over here.